no numbers, there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no gameplay. I don't like it.
Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today, Freemers, we are back with another Free Realms video, which is crazy to say in the year 2025. But I have been inspired to do something I don't know if anyone else in the Free Realms community has done, but I wanted to go through all of the in-game Free Realms locations and find their IRL lookalike. And I know that's kind of weird to do, but like, you gotta admit, you've probably you've played Free Realms and you go, well, wait a minute, going to this location, it looks a little similar, right? I don't know. I feel I'm inspired to do this because I feel like I've been to certain places and I've been like, well, this looks a lot like this looks a lot like that. And you guys might have different opinions on what you think some locations in real life look like in terms of like to the Free Realms game, but I want to give my 2 cents on this whole situation and go through all the locations in Free Realms. Except, we're not going to be doing Sunstone Valley, because easily Grand Canyon, like, hello, doy. And then I'm not going to do the locations that never made it into the game, which I've already covered them in lore and done tons of research on them. But I'm just because I made those locations doesn't mean I'm going to throw them into here and be like, oh, this looks like this, because I don't have a good idea of what they look like in game. There's only concept art. There's barely anything concrete. So we're just going to cover 8 of the locations in Free Realms. We're going to start with Sanctuary and kind of go from there. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So to start, we are going to start with Sanctuary. And I know like a lot of people are going to have different opinions on like what Sanctuary might look close to, what it might look like close to another in real life location, but I think I have the best answers here by far. In terms of Sanctuary, I think my pick is probably the best, and I might be wrong, but let's go ahead and look at this. So for just an image, for kind of a visual guide here, we got Sanctuary at its base. Just a little town. Now, the only location I could think of, and I actually live in Washington, so I've been to this place, and dude, there's no other location that looks like Sanctuary other than Leavenworth. I mean, if you live in Washington State, you will 100% go, yeah, no, that's Sanctuary. That's as close as it gets. I have been to Leavenworth, and it is pretty much Sanctuary. Like, dude, look at this. Look at the side-by-side comparison here. Like, dude, that's where I feel like doing this will give me insight into how the devs of Sony Online Entertainment, like, they got references from different places. There's no way they just, like, immediately went, this is my original creation from inside of my brain. I came up with this all myself. No, you didn't, because, dude, it's right there. And I think, I'm pretty sure SOE was based in California, but, dude, it's too accurate. Like, all the buildings close together in Leavenworth, all the buildings close together in Sanctuary, I mean, come on. Right? Like, dude, it's too spot on. It's way too spot on. It's so good. And yes, I have been to Leavenworth. I've been there about like twice, and it is a ball, dude. It is so cool. Just going into little shops and going into these little places. I love it. Leavenworth's probably the coolest place in Washington to go. But regardless, we are moving on to Snow Hill. Now, it was kind of hard to pinpoint what Snow Hill would look like in real life. And I mean, you could just say, oh, the North Pole. Well, okay, but I'm going to just do the same answer again and say Leavenworth. And the reason being is because one, it's in Washington, and in Washington it does snow. Experienced it firsthand. But there is no doubt in my mind that Leavenworth isn't like it's the correct answer. Like, look at this image. Ready? I mean, come on. It's the same image, kind of, but from a different angle. But like, there's something I still get Leavenworth vibes when I look at Snow Hill. Like, it's just a cozy little town, cozy little dude, all these little different shops. I don't know. I still say Leavenworth because look at that, dude. Leavenworth is near the mountains, so it's the default answer. It really is. But from here on out, no more Leavenworth. We are moving on from that. But next up, okay, next up is going to be Maryvale. Now, there's so many locations you could use for Maryvale because, like, obviously just look for, like, a farm with lots of sunflowers. But that's not all Maryvale is. It's kind of like this, like, loop around the map location with a big thing in the middle, rainbow swirl coming out. Oh, I hit my mic. But in my head, I was thinking, like, okay, well, what resembles this? Because it's also got a lake surrounding it. And the closest thing I could come up with is images I actually took at my local park. And it's kind of a giveaway of where I live, but it's not like a complete, like, it's on my address being leaked, but it's a local park that I go to, and I'm not going to reveal the name of the park, but you can probably guess. It's just a park. I mean, look at this. It's so this, like, I took pictures a while back because there's an art thing I want to do with this, but see those, like, fences there? I don't know if you can see that, but you can walk around this whole giant, like, pond. And dude, I mean, the rainbow swirl coming out of the middle, the water's, come on, dude. I mean, there's probably a bunch of other locations on the earth that, like, resemble the rainbow swirl coming out of the middle, but, like, this is too accurate because you can walk around the whole center here and just it's just like this. It's literally it's too perfect. It's way too perfect. It's just a whole park. It's really cool. Because there's more than just this. You can, like, kind of go off and explore. It's almost like you're going into the foresty area here, but yeah, I had to share this because, like, it is such a cool park. It's neat. I like to go hang out there and just vibe. I think it's a good vibe location. But yeah, man, too uncanny to even, like, not. I had to include it. I had to. I had a ton of other shots of the park, but specifically this one, too real. Took it with my phone. Anyway, moving on to the next location, Seaside. Now, Seaside's kind of an easy one. You don't really, I don't know, you could say any location for Seaside in, like, a hot, like, state, but I mean, come on. SOE was based in California. Let's be real for a second here. The obvious location is Long Beach, California. I mean, that is where they got their inspiration from. Had to be something, you know, along these lines. I don't know. I think Long Beach is the only answer that I'm okay with having, because I can't really think of another area that looks like Seaside other than Long Beach, California. Too accurate. Way too accurate. We're not going to spend too much time on that one, but that is the answer. They definitely use inspiration for that. I'm not saying, like, Maryvale used inspiration from that park I mentioned, because I don't know how long that park's been there, but it was as close as I could find. But anywho, moving on. So Wugga Chug. Kind of a tough one. And I didn't really know what to pick for this one, because at this point I had been running out of ideas, but I had a theory that, you know, the mountains surrounding the town, and I've never been, but I've seen pictures. Wugga Chug definitely looks like any little town in Norway. I mean, it's a blurry image, but I think any little town in Norway resembles Wugga Chug for sure. Like 100%, man. There's no other answer other than that. I mean, surrounded by mountains, little town, like it yeah. Wugga Chug is Norway inspired. 110%, man. It has to be. There's no other answer other than that one. But moving on to the next one, Shrouded Glade. This is a pretty tough one. You could say any school in, you know, any area could be or Shrouded Glade. I say I'm pretty sure I said Shrouded Glade. Shrouded Glade, yes. You could say any school that is around that looks like Shrouded Glade, but specifically, I'm gonna say like anywhere in the UK. Specifically, this image that I randomly found. Like, dude, I don't know the UK that well. There's like, if there's two places I would want to move to, it would be either the UK. I think it was the UK and somewhere else. I can't really recall. It was the UK and somewhere else. But point being is that anywhere in the UK could be Shrouded Glade. Like 100%. I mean, dude, it is. I think it is British inspired. It has to be. Like, it has to do with sorcery, right? Harry Potter, right? Come on. It has to be. It's UK inspired for sure. I think it is. And I like Shrouded Glade a lot. Good location too. But that's my 2 cents on that matter. But moving on to probably the hardest of the whole location spotting. Briarwood, and obviously the next one is, Black Spore, and the next one's going to be Briarwood. Misspoke. But the issue with finding the correct locations here is I couldn't really think of like where Black Spore would, what Black Spore would look like. And I had to look at time of day, because Black Spore and Briarwood both, you know, are set in the nighttime. No, it doesn't matter where you walk. This is why the Free Realms map works so well, because it could be daytime, it could be morning, afternoon, or nighttime. Depending on the location you're in. You know, and Black Spore and Briarwood, they were always nighttime, which was really cool. And that's why the game worked so well for location wise. But Black Spore, I had to dig deep, and I realized that New Orleans Swamp at nighttime specifically is the only answer that made sense in my mind. I mean, dude, where else would they get the inspiration from? It's New Orleans, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that New Orleans is the correct answer at nighttime specifically. Because, dude, the trees, I mean, this is the correct answer. 100%. No doubt in my mind, this is the correct answer. It is. Because I couldn't think of where else would you see, like, the type of scenery in Black Spore? Made the most sense to me. But, on to the last one, which is Briarwood. Briarwood was tough. And, you know, you could probably look for, like, oh, just go find some vines. Go find some thorny vines. I mean, you're not going to see much of those. And if you're going to see those, they're going to be in, like, farms or whatever. It's not what I was looking for. I was looking for something real specific. And I was looking for, like, hedge mazes. Couldn't find any that resembled Briarwood as well. But then I found an image. And it led me to a location in Northern Ireland, specifically, I think, Dublin? I don't know if it's Dublin. I think it's a different name that I can't pronounce. But specifically in Northern Ireland, there's a place called the Dark Hedges. And my God, it is pretty accurate. This is a real... This image is... It might be a little bit edited, but it is real. And this is as close as we're going to get. Dude, it works too well. Right? Look at it, dude. Like, it's creepy, it's dark, and apparently at night it looks terrifying. But this is the Briarwood entrance, so to speak, you know? Like, this one image describes Briarwood better than any other image could. It's crazy. It's wild. So there was a lot of, I think probably the best ones, it was probably Leavenworth, in terms of location spotting, because Leavenworth really is Sanctuary, and maybe Snow Hill, you know, but I think I found the best images that resemble these locations. If you guys have any, like, images or locations that might resemble the in-game Free Realms locations, throw them on the Reddit, because then I'll cover them. If you guys want to. That's your call. It's your call. But these are my answers. If you guys, want to comment, be like, no, you're wrong, do it, I dare you. But that's going to be a video for today. But thank you guys for watching, hanging out. I appreciate it a ton. And I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, goodbye.